Now, the apples themselves. Apples got created, I'm not exactly sure who had the idea first, but it really did have to do with pronunciation. And we had MAPL apples just because that would help you say MAPL right. Because when we were talking to some folks in Vermont about creating a MAPL program, they wanted to call it Maple. I guess in Vermont it makes sense. For this thing we've done over the years, tried to sort of identify what it is that's essential about each cohort. Cohorts get nicknames, kind of. They hang together, and they do get an identity. And I think it is fair to say about Cohort 10 that not only do they have a somewhat different drummer than all of the rest, they have many drummers. And those drummers are constantly mixing it up. And yet, they turn out wonderful because somehow they work through all of it and make it happen. And this cohort we've made mistakes with them, to them, and they survived. We've just done lots of things that were tough.
And we kept coming back. Why?
What's that?
And we kept coming back.
That's right. And they kept coming back. And did things like Randy did, which was to suggest the business cohort, or the business concentration. He's in business, and yet he's a person who can get along with the other MAPL students.
Why? It shows that management and labor can get along.
And so we're going to find more Randys. And
good luck.
God help you.
So, first in great alphabetical order and in size, Blake Chafee. I'll talk. Blake was in his. Are they set up in order?
The one I just had in my hand.
It's spelled C-H-A-F-F-E-E,
and I'm actually not done yet, so why hasn't gotten written yet? He's got at least 2 semesters left.
Well, that is, but Blake worked this past season in the Overstart campaign, and that, of course, was for folks who did that, and for a lot of other folks in northern Minnesota, it was a tremendously painful thing that happened when the congressman lost the election. So, but he's going to fight on, and what he mentioned about having a couple more semesters reminds me that that's another thing about this cohort that's going to be different than all of our others. We next year is the 7th that MAPL will be in existence, and as is traditional in academic life, you have to have an examination at 7 years, and everything about you and everything you've done is put on the table. And one of the things that that exam will talk about will be how many of our students have actually graduated from UMD. And that sort of brings up a reality that you can graduate here because we send the cohorts out together, but sometimes people have not finished all of the requirements. This is the first year that we're going to be dogging them a lot. Because we simply, it turns out we're not allowed to let this keep going. And so, bullwhips will be applied to Cohort 10, and to all the past folks too, who have not yet finished, to get the job done. We need it very badly as a MAPL program. We need to make sure that every T is crossed and I dotted, so that you can send a future employer to the University of Minnesota Duluth, and they say, did John Doe actually get a MAPL degree? And we'll be able to say, yes, he did. And that's just something we're going to have to work on a lot between now and next year. But as usual, Cohort 10 will be leading the way by getting them all done really fast. Rebecca Covington. I think there is a student. See, well, we'll recognize Rebecca. She's not getting an apple, but there hasn't been a student who's as involved in the Duluth community, particularly, as Rebecca, with MPERT, was it MPERT? No, it was a student. It was MPERT. And then before that was student government.
Simultaneously.
Simultaneously, yeah. And now with, I was at the chamber the other day, and Rebecca was kind of universally recognized by all of the people there because of her activity. So a great Duluth area MAPL person who will be getting an apple someday. Amy Demmer.
There you go.
Amy's, I actually knew her dad before I knew Amy, and he still let her come. And she comes from great roots, but now has got this wonderful thing going in Grand Marais, Minnesota. She decided she wanted urban living, and so she now runs the art colony in Grand Marais. And it's just the art colony. How many are in the colony?
Well, it's been going on since 1947, so there's ghosts and there's kids and...
Now, that answer, if you knew Amy, that would not surprise you. The ghosts were figured in. Thank you.